Hi, everybody. I'm gonna give it a hot second just to catch up because I know it takes like a second for this thing to have everyone see me. There might be a commercial. La la la. Hello, 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 everybody. Hey, Vicky, how are you? Hello, my dear. How are you? Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. So today, like the thumbnail says, I'm going to be tier ranking all of the books I read in quarter three. I've been doing this quarterly because I like to talk about more books rather than fewer books. Hello, hello. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Juliana, hola. Vivian, hello. Makado, hey. Oh, thank you. It's I'm a red lipstick kind of girl. This is a liquid lipstick though. It's basically paint at this point. But thank you. I appreciate it. Um yeah. So anyway, quarter three, I read 35 books over quarter three. So not bad for 3 months. And I'm gonna rank them all because I used to do just like an end of the year one off like, oh, best books and worst books. I probably still will, but like I want to talk about all of the books. So I'm gonna get into it. Let's see here. Hello, Melissa. How are you, my dear? Thank you for coming and hanging out. Hello, hello. Oh, good. Yay. Good me. I try. I read a lot of books, luckily, and I think that also helps my pronunciation of names in general because I read so many books with so many different names in it. So yeah, I think there you go. Reading it helps like understanding pronunciation. Sometimes I'm not always the best. I try my best. Four is still good. It's not a competition. Four is great. I'm happy for you reading four. Hey, Amanda, how are you? Birdie, hello, my dear. How are you? Alicia. Welcome to the Amanda Show. Oh my goodness. I used to tutor kids like a while ago, probably like 15 years ago. I used to tutor kids. And it was when the Amanda Show was still out, I think, because like everyone would be like, say Amanda Show jokes if they were children and they watched that. So like all the time. Anyway, that's another story for another time. I worked with kids for a long time. Me with children? Like that doesn't make a lot of sense. And I was a nanny for like several years. Okay. Yeah. I get that totally. Like yeah. Like you only see like the neat area of my bookshelves that isn't like chaos. Like all the other bookshelves where you can't see double stacked, it's just chaos. There's so many books. And the problem is I go to like a library book sale and they're like 50 cents. So it's like, am I not going to buy it for 50 cents? This is a great deal. And then I'm like, oh shit, I have so many books. So yeah, no, I fully understand the stress. Grape time. Oh yeah. Oh, it's harvest time, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Are you a winemaker, Juliana? Are you a winemaker? I see the vine in there, but yeah, it is harvest time. I think some people are still like late harvesting though, especially global warming. They're harvesting later and later. But usually it's like August, September. It's like a lot of harvests, I believe. Yeah, I have all this wine knowledge I'm not doing anything with, so occasionally I'll throw some wine factoids in. I do have like my sommelier certification. I've done nothing with it. Okay, good. Yay, winemaker. Tell us all what you make. What are you focusing on? I mean, you have like reds right there. So, what are you making? Let us know. Um, Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll just throw some out every once in a while. I don't you know what? Thank you. I feel like I've cornered the market on Cool Ant. Like I don't foresee myself having kids of my own for multiple reasons we don't need to get into, but I've cornered the market on Cool Ants. Like like Greg has a large family. Greg's my boyfriend. Several siblings with kids. So like there's a lot of kids and stuff. But Yeah, like, okay, here's the thing, like, I taught them how to play with fire, and I know that sounds horrible, but, like, hear me out. You know, if you throw cinnamon on fire, it sparkles? And I was like, "You guys are old enough that you're not gonna burn down the house right if I show you this." Like, I remember just being like, "You're not gonna fuck me over, right?" And they're like, "No," and I'm like so I showed them how, like I showed them how cinnamon sparkles on fire. So, and, you know, and then, they live in Kentucky and I live in California, so we don't even live close. I got on a plane and left. Their problem now. Full cool amp potential here, yes. The weird weather 90s in the fall. Yeah, it has all over the world. Like a lot of crops are failing too, especially like the Burgundy region has had some setbacks. I believe Bordeaux had a bad season. I haven't kept up on like my geography or like harvests factoids, but I know like Burgundy was having some problems. And couple that with like COVID and like not being able to get workers in to harvest in general, like they had a really low yield. That's why champagne is so sky high expensive right now. I think the market will eventually level out, but yeah, the 2020 eras, they didn't have they couldn't have much of a harvest, so that's why it's so sky high expensive. If you throw it in fire, it sparkles. Fun fact. Okay. Oh, Toriga Nacional. Okay, I do like that. I'm not the biggest like port wine, but like I do like port wine grapes. Like Toriga is usually really nice. If anyone's wondering, there's a lot of it in like Portugal for like port wine, so Portugal. But it's a really good one. It kind of has like a nice. Sometimes you get like a nice smoky quality in it, and like I think it goes really well with like barbecue, like char things. Like I don't eat meat, but like I think it would go great with like barbecue ribs. If you're looking for a pairing, I would put it with that. I ate it with like my fake meat barbecue and it was delicious. So I recommend that. that that smell of wind. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Very cool, Toriga. Yeah, I really like Toriga Nacional. I don't have any right now, but there is one I really, really liked. I would buy a bottle every once in a while. It was like a steal too. Toriga should be much more expensive than it is, because you can get expensive ones, but oftentimes they're very moderately priced. And I think it was like $22 a bottle, and it was like delicious. It was very. Oh, okay. So there are a couple in your area in my city that smell of wind. The wine smells of wind, or the wind smells like wine. I'm not sure. My brain isn't functioning quite yet. Yeah, I'm having limoncello LaCroix. I'm not having caffeine yet. I probably should, but we'll find out. Anyway, all right, everybody, let's get to some tier rankings of all of this doodads. So let me share my screen. Dun, dun, dun. All right, here we go, everybody. Let's get into this. Okay, so hold on a second. I should really have a separate screen, but I don't. So I'm going to try to make this work so I can still see comments, but I don't want it to be too small. Oh, it doesn't really affect the screen. Okay, we're good. Oh, a couple of very smelly wine during the season. All right. Okay. Very cool. All right. So let's start ranking some books. All right, let's just start at the beginning. Why not? So After Hours on Milagro Street by Angelina Lopez. Surprise hit. I'm gonna put it up here in love. We're gonna start off with like good stuff right from the start. Surprise hit. Not that I thought it was going to be bad. It's just from the blurb, I thought it was gonna be like, a rom-com, enemies to lovers rom-com. And it is so much more than that. It is so cool. They get into like Latin diaspora in like Central America, not Central America, but like the Midwest, I guess, of America, USA. It is like the middle of the country, like Kansas area. There's a lot of road work. And like there's a lot of diaspora of Latin people. So I got into that. It got about like sticking it to gentrifiers, sticking up, sticking it to racists. There's a ghost. Wasn't expecting a ghost, and also like a treasure hunt, and like it's actually really good. And they bang in chapter 1, very smutty as well. So surprise hit. After Hours on Milagro Street, very much liked it. Always Be My Duchess by Emily Howard. Oh, you know what? This was a disappointment. I'm going to just say it. I pre-ordered it and I really wanted to love it. I really did. I really wanted to love this so much, and I did not. It's supposed to be kind of like a take on Pretty Woman. It's just not. It is, but it isn't. And frankly, I think it didn't have enough for me. I wanted more. I wanted more comedic elements, and it just kind of was thrown together a little bit, it felt like. So yeah, it was a bit of a disappointment for me. As You Like It. I'm okay. I said what I said. I didn't like it. I don't like it. So I did it for High Shakespeare, and it made so little sense that it made my brain hurt. It made me wonder, I'm like, am I too high right now? Like, did I smoke that much that I don't understand reality? And it's not me. It's not me who didn't understand reality. I don't think William Shakespeare did, because nothing in here made any sense at all. Like, none of it. Yeah, I agree. Cartoon covers and historicals don't usually go together. They're more of like contemporary thing. But yeah, I don't trust them either for those. I've learned my lesson the hard way. Okay, let's continue. August Kitco and the Mechas from Space by by Alex White. Loved it. I am a big Alex White fan. If you haven't read anything by them, you should check them out. They wrote the Salvager series, which starts off with a big ship at the edge of the universe, which is incredible. It's a trilogy. It's all out. You can binge the whole thing. So good. It's cheater sci-fi because it's sci-fi. It's in space. They have space battles. There's ships, etc. But also, people have magical abilities. So it's like space wizards. So good. August Kitco and the Mechas from Space. It's a completely different new series, but it's kind of, we're following August Kitco. He's a jazz pianist kind of guy. And he basically gets kind of roped into saving the world because this like cadre of like mechas, or I don't know, like it's like a big like army of mechas are coming to destroy the Earth, and they've destroyed a lot of other planets as well. And what we find out is there's actually like a civil war going in these like giant space mechas, and one of them kind of emotionally links with August Kitco, and now it's kind of like, I am controlling this like mecha thing where we're one. He's like a pet. And there's also this non-binary rock star named Arden Violet, who I swear is just Mason Alexander Park. Like, look up Mason Alexander Park. They played Desire and Sandman, a bunch of other things, but I'm like, that's just Arden Violet, like completely. And is there kind of romance as well? And I like way into that. It's so good. I love it intensely. So good. Beauty Tempts the Beast by Lorraine Heath. I read 2 books that have very similar titles, because there's also Beauty Tames the Beast by Eloisa James. I read 2 Beauty and the Beast stories that have almost the same title, and they're both historicals. So I think I can tell them apart. So Beauty Tempts the Beast, it's fine. I'm going to put it as average. I don't remember a lot of it because, frankly, it's not that memorable. But I didn't hate it. I remember not hating it. I just remember not being, like, wowed by it. But it is, I believe, like a kind of a woman. She's down on her luck. Her father, I think, got accused of like treason and was executed. And they like took all of her material possessions. So it's her and her brother trying to survive. She's a barmaid now. And like then a rough and tumble guy. And then like they get together and stuff. And like I think he's also like low-key a pimp. Not really. He owns a brothel, but he doesn't pimp the girls out. He's actually there and he takes care of them and makes sure like they get medical attention. He helps them get out of prostitution. He has them like learn how to read and write and skills so they can get another job. Not that he's like shaming, like, not as shaming sex workers. He's actually very pro sex worker. He's pro helping them, all that kind of jazz. So love that. Love that for him. So he's actually a good guy. But yeah, it's overall, it's kind of average. Tale of the Body Thief by Anne Rice. I don't know. I'm going to come back to that one. Okay. The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. Ultimately, you know, it has its moments where it's kind of cute. It's if you don't want like a smutty romance, you want like a light smutty romance, like this is it for you, because I don't think there's any smut on page, but it's like cute and it's funny. They're dealing with like a lot of like traumas that people have to deal with, and also it's kind of a cute little romance. She's a bodyguard, he's a celebrity, she has to guard his body. There's a stalker kind of situation going on here, so a lot of that, which is kind of fun. Caribbean Heiress in Paris by Adriana Herrera. Loved. So good. Loved it to bits. It is historical romance. It's a Caribbean rum heiress going to Paris for like the World Expo, and she's trying to like expand the rum business, sell her rum. And she is not only a woman, she's a woman of color, not doing well in this environment. People are being dicks for obvious reasons because they're dicks, and it's like it's like 1800s, so obviously. And then she meets like a grumpy Scotsman who has like a whiskey distillery, and then they like kind of team up, and then like they kind of get together, and like I loved it. It's so good. I really like Adriana Herrera in general. Her books are like so fun to read. Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I don't know. I'm gonna put it in average for now, and like, you know, I'm gonna stick with average. It's a solid 3-star book, which is sucky because I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one isn't her best work. Like, let's be real. It's really not. It's not that good. I wanted it to be good. I was looking for things that weren't there that I think should have been there. So I feel like there's a lot of literary choices being made here that I don't think were necessarily super effective. But it is a character we were introduced to in Malibu Rising, which is another book that people were like about. And she's like a pro tennis player, etc. A very unpleasant character to be in their headspace. And I don't like using the unlikable term because there's a lot of unlikable characters who are awesome to read about. But Taylor Jenkins Reid writes his character being very unpleasant, and it's not pleasant for me as a reader to read about her. You know what I mean? It's like if she was fun to read about being unpleasant, then that'd be one thing. But she just wasn't that like, you know, like, it's not the best. It's not her best work. It's a B-side, I would say. You know, if this is a record, it's a B-side. Like, it's not the best. It has its moments where it's pretty good, and there's like some things in there that I think are good, so it's average for me. It's fine. It's not great. It's fine though. Let's see. Oh, so I have been reading a bunch of James Bond books. So you will see there are several in here that I'm going to be putting in here. I did loosely announce my next big project is going to be all about James Bond, because I don't know how much of there being an overlap in my audience, but like I am a James Bond nerd. I know entirely too much about it, at least the movies. So I've been reading the books for the first time, and I'm thinking right now the project is reading the books, comparing it to the movie version, and like throwing in factoids and stuff. So hopefully there's like a crossover in my audience of people who also would be interested in this, but either way, I'm going to do it because I want to. But yeah, I'm a James Bond nerd. So as soon as like Interview with the Vampire's over and I'm done recapping those episodes, because those are kind of like intensive to make, I will start on this project because I can't do 2 big projects at the same time. But anyway, okay, I'm just going to like go with my gut here. I'm going to put Tale of the Body Thief as a meh. It's Vampire Freaky Friday. That's all you need to know. It's Vampire Freaky Friday, and it's weird. It's so weird, and a lot of like Lestat is being a complete dick in it. I mean, he already is. They call him the Brat Prince for a reason, but he's kind of excelling at being a brat in this one. So it is what it is. Yay! I'm glad that you enjoy the Bond movies as well. Like, here's the thing. Are the books and the movies problematic? Yes, they are. I'm not defending them, but I like them anyway. You know, it's okay. You can like it. But like, you have to also admit, yikes, there's some problematic stuff in here, especially in the books. They're written in the 50s by an old white guy. Like, there's some questionable things happening. Casino Royale, I thought was pretty good. I'm gonna put it a solid like. Solid like. It's a good introduction to the character, James Bond. I will put it out here because I've read like a lot of the books at this point now. James Bond does grow and develop as a character throughout all the books. So who he is in book 1 is not who he is like in book 7, for example. He has changed and he's kind of a bit jaded. He's learned a lot. So like it's a good introduction to this character. And I liked how he wrote some of like the spy stuff scenes and how he like looks around a room and what he notices in the room as opposed to like what an average person would notice. So very interesting. Yeah. Like, you know, the Harry Potter world, like, is it problematic? Yep. I don't defend it. It has a lot of problematic things in it, especially the author. But like, did I enjoy Harry Potter? Yes, I did. Like, I did. It's problematic, and I'm not defending it. It doesn't need me to defend it, frankly. There's a theme park. Like, it doesn't need me to defend it. Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. I think I liked it. I said solid like. I wasn't obsessed with it, but like I found things in it that I didn't know were going to be there, and this was a full drunk classics. I was very drunky pants, but it's secretly a rom-com and no one told me. There's so many little like rom-com pairings in here. Why did no one tell me this is a rom-com? So yeah, had a good time with that one. Surprisingly, of all of the James Bond books I've read so far, Diamonds Are Forever is actually my favorite one. Surprise of all surprises, because the movie is such like a bizarre film. Like there's Blofeld and drag in it, and it's in Las Vegas, and it's so bizarre and weird. Like the guy who has his like command station where he like views the whole casino and stuff, and in his desk chair is a toilet. Like it's the weirdest fucking movie. Like it's weird, but like the book A+. I really like Diamonds Are Forever. It's like probably my favorite Bond book so far. Surprisingly, it's really good. There's like a train fight, which doesn't happen in the movie, but like James, he's full on like assassin mode, and there's like a train speeding by, and he has to shoot a guy on a train and stuff while he's injured. It's really good. I really like Diamonds Are Forever. Speaking of stuff that's really good, The Duke Heist by Erica Ridley. I've read a lot of Erica Ridley stuff in quarter 3, well, at least all of this series, and I have been having a ball with this. This Wild Winchester series is so good. I have been loving it. It's so fun. It's like a group of like 7 misfit siblings. They were all kind of adopted by an eccentric rich guy, and they solve crimes. You know, they stick it to the man, and I love them. So they're really fun historical romances. There's zany, there's capers, there's heists. I would say if you're a Tessa Dare fan, especially this Winchester series, might scratch that itch for you while we're still waiting for more Tessa Dare books. But I think it's got that comedic vibe you're looking for. So I recommend the Winchester series for that pure purpose. Hey, Maggie, that's fine. I mean, this is a reading channel, so it makes sense. Thanks for coming and stopping by, though. The Duke Undone is going to go in my nope category. I really wanted to like it. I kind of bought it sight unseen because like the blurb was so cool. The blurb was like, oh, there's a painter woman, and then like kind of a rascal Duke. She finds him drunk and naked in an alley, like passed out. And so she's like, ugh, and she like covers him up, runs away, draws a painting of him with all of his business out. And he has to figure out like, who's been drawing my dick? Like, you know? So I'm like, I love that. I love that concept. It could have been really funny. But it was gross when I was reading it. I felt it was gross. He was gross. Like, girl, stop kissing him. This is how you get pox. He probably has pox. Like, think about it. In this era, in this era and how he was living his life, this boy has pox. You're getting herpes. Like, I'm like, was grossed out by it. Moving forward, though, Heartbreaker, Sarah McLean, loved it. Loved it. I really, really like this series. This is only book 2 of it so far, but both books have been incredible. It's this Hell's Bells series. So good. The first book is called Bombshell. This book is called Heartbreaker, obviously. And again, it's a misfit group of women who stick it to the man. Like, there's evil men that need to be taken down a peg, hire the Hell's Bells, that kind of thing. And oftentimes there's lots of explosions. So very good series. It's great for historical romance, sufficiently smutty, great characters, zany heists, sticking it to bad guys. Great series. Love it intensely. I just bought a ticket to go to a book signing with Sarah McLean in LA when she comes in November, and I'm so excited. It's gonna be at the Rip Modest. I'm so happy I bought a ticket. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Let's see. Her Night with the Duke by Diana Quincy. I wanted more from it than I got. Honestly, it's kind of meh. If I'm being honest, it's not that good. I wanted it to be good because the premise sounds like kind of fun, but like it's not that fun. So there's a woman, she's a widow, and in one night, she and a duke hook up, and they're gonna go their separate ways. She goes to a house party the next day. Her stepdaughter is on the marriage march. She's about to get engaged to this duke. Turns out, same duke. So now, like, this guy that she banged is like supposed to be engaged to her stepdaughter. So, like, wow, this is a problem. So I thought like zany things were going to happen, but really it's just a lot of sadness. This is more of a serious book, not like a funny book. So I was hoping for funny and it got serious, and maybe my expectations were just skewed, but like not so good. However, I did appreciate that the heroine was Arabian, because you don't see that a lot in historical romance. So that was kind of like a fun, interesting thing that they added in. So I like that element for like cultural reasons. Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. I don't know. I would put it like right in between the two, obviously. Like, fine. Why not? It's going in love. Why not? I'm not going to be stingy with stars. I really like Sarah Gailey's writing in general. It is a bit of an acquired taste, because I know some people don't like it. I happen to like it. But this one is kind of a haunted house story. There's demonry. There's a serial killer. It's basically like take, childhood trauma, but make it horror. And love that. Eventually, they're following this woman. She comes back home to see her like mother who's dying. Her father was a serial killer who killed people in the house that they lived in. So she's back home in her childhood home where her father was killing people in the basement. That kind of story. And there's a lot more to it. There's like demons and like, I don't know how much of it was really supernatural as opposed to perhaps she's having a mental breakdown. It's not clear, and I like that. So anyway. Okay. Oh, that's Her Night with the Duke. Yeah, I thought it was going to be like zany, but it's just so much angst. Like angsty, and I'm like not an angsty kind of girl. I want to read for fun. not knocking it though. I'm not yucking anyone's yum. I know a lot of people like an angsty romance. I'm just not one of them personally. Okay, let's talk about Live and Let Die, book 2. This is the second James Bond book of the series. So so by the way, Casino Royale is book 1. Book 2, Live and Let Die. Book 3 is Moonraker. And then book 4 was Diamonds Are Forever. So of the 4 I read in quarter 3, Diamonds Are Forever is actually my favorite still. It's really good. But Live and Let Die is a book that can best be categorized as yikes. Oh my word. It was written in the 50s. This is right when like the civil rights movement is like amping up. The whole book feels like white panic. It is alarming. The casual use of the N-word in here is just a lot to deal with. I mean, the movie itself is a lot to deal with. It's kind of, it came out in the 70s, so it's supposed to be like a blaxploitation film. But I appreciated that they had the entire cast and like a lot of like the producers, or not the producers, but like a lot of the people working on the film were all, people of color. So at least they did that. And it was of the era as a blaxploitation film. This one is just, it's a yikes. Yikes. It's a lot. There is good action scenes in it, though. There's a lot of action in here that's not actually in the movie. I'm spoiling the video for you guys later on when I do it, but there's a lot of like action sequences in here that they've used in different movies, because there's so many in this book that like they've used them in several different movies, different sequences. So very cool. Surprisingly gory. And it's really good. And James Bond actually has to fight a squid. No, it was an octopus in this one. He fights a squid. He fights a lot of sea creatures, like way more than I was expecting him to ever fight. Like he has to fight an octopus in this, which is very strange. But yikes. It's a yikes book. So I understand that it's a yikes book. It was written in the 50s by an old white British guy. Like obviously it's going to be yikes. But the story itself is good and the action is good, but it's a yikes for, cultural resonance. So it's going to go average, because credit where credit's due, it is very exciting to read. Memnoch the Devil by Anne Rice is going to go meh as well, because like, what the fuck was that? Buckle up, everybody. Like that's what's like on the thumbnail for when I did that one, but yikes. It's just so much. It's like, take existential dread and throw in religion. There you go, everybody. And then take a lot of cocaine and have a fever dream. Like that's the book. It's bizarre and makes no sense. And I feel like it adds nothing to the Vampire Chronicles universe. It is just fucking there. Like I think Anne Rice had to work some shit out with her views on Catholicism, because like, wow, this is just a lot to deal with. Midsummer Night's Dream. I solidly like this. I'm gonna put in the likes. I wouldn't say I loved it, but like I had a good time getting high and reading it. That's what started off High Shakespeare. I was like, let's get high and read Midsummer. This is going to be a great idea. And guess what? It was. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. So good times with Midsummer. I liked it. We all kind of know what it's about. It's been out for a while at this point. But it's fun. It's like a good kind of zany, farcical comedy kind of story. And there's fairies and stuff. It's silly. It's fun. It's fine. It's whatever. All right. Let's keep going. Moonraker. Solid like. I'm going to put that solidly like. So Moonraker, the movie, is my least favorite James Bond movie. I hate it. I hate it. Because the movie came out in like the late 70s, right after like Star Wars came out. And so they're like, oh, you guys like Star Wars? We'll give you Star Wars. We'll do James Bond Star Wars. And it's stupid. It's really bad. The space battles in here, like I'll tell you right now, in the book, they do not go to space. They do not fight people in space in the book. The book is actually much better than the movie. Much better. I love it. There's even like a dash, I would say, in the book that like resonates with GoldenEye, which is in the 90s. Like I was saying, like these books, they have so much in them that they split them up into all these different movies. So like one book might be covered over like 3 different movies or something. All the action sequences are spread out in different movies. Moonraker is a piece of shit of a movie, but hot damn, is a good book. It kind of reads like GoldenEye a little bit, like how they like saved the day. It's a little GoldenEye. I'll put that out there. But yeah, Moonraker is actually a really good book. And I was bummed out that the movie was so bad. Morning Glory Milking Farm. Okay, so I read this for book club. Blame Mara from Books Like Well. This is monster porn. Like, there's a whole genre of romance. It's just monster fuckery, and that's fine. I'm not yucking someone's yum, but like personally, it's not my taste. I found it like the whole book just felt like she was an overfilled water balloon. Like the way that they're describing things, she's an overfilled water balloon, and it bothered me. Like, this is not physically possible to do with your genitals. Sorry, there you go. You can't. It's not going to work. Overfilled water balloon comes to mind. So I don't know. Like, if you look past all of that stuff, it is kind of like actually like a sweet romance between the two of them. If you look past, he's a minotaur and she literally jerks him off for a living because she works at a milking farm because apparently minotaur sperm is like makes Viagra. I don't know. It's a strange place where it's supposed to be like medical, but like I don't know how medical that is. But anyway, I don't know. I'm just gonna put it nope. Fuck it. I didn't need to read it and I never want to read it again. So I'm gonna put it in nope. Oh, Stephen King. That's okay. You can catch up later, no problem. But I am doing the recaps for the Interview with the Vampire TV show. So those are those in case you want to check those out. But this month, I just started it, Vampire Armand. So that's what I'm going to be recapping this month for the books. Okay. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty open to things in general. Like, if you have complementary genitals, put them together. Like, I'm very like laissez-faire about that part. It's just I don't think the way that they were putting them together would function properly. Like it wouldn't work. She'd explode. Like I'm just gonna put it out there. But I believe his name is Rourke, and he's like really sweet. They actually have a really sweet romance with each other, but yikes for their sex. Nobody's Princess by Erica Ridley. This is another part of that Wild Winchester series. I'm gonna put it solidly in like. I very much liked it. Like it's bordering love. Fuck it. I'll put it in love too. Why not? Why not? It could be in there. Screw it. I'll even put it next to its friend. There you go. So both of these Erica Ridley books, this is book 1 and book 3. I had already read book 2 previously. But there's a lot of zany capers in it. I wish it was smuttier than it was. I didn't get a lot of smut, but I was still thoroughly enjoying all the zany capers and like the elaborate heists, the characters and stuff. So, it is what it is. But I wish it was smuttier overall, but I did enjoy it. So maybe that's why I would put it in like, because there's not enough banging. There you go. They're going to be right on top of each other. Not enough banging. Oh, wow. Okay, very cool. Welcome to Los Angeles. That's where I am. I hope you're having a good trip. It's beautiful weather right now. Not too hot. It's in the 80s out here, so it's nice, pretty days. Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Albert. I loved it. I loved it intensely. She's another one of those authors that, like, I don't know, it's kind of similar to Sarah Gailey or Victoria Lee. I feel like those 3 authors would all be in the same grouping of very distinctive writing style that you either love or you hate. And I love Melissa Albert. She writes very messy, angry heroines, and she just lets them be messy and angry. And I love it intensely. Like, you don't have to everything wrapped up neatly and have the characters be likable all the time. Let them be fucking angry. Especially because she writes kind of like upper YA new adult books. Like teenage girls are terrifying because they're so full of rage, and she lets them do that. And I love that. So very good. This one's about witchcraft. Have you seen The Craft, that movie from the 90s? If you've seen that, you will love this book. It's 2 different time periods. There's the mother when she was 17 and then the daughter when she's 17 right now. And mom dealt with some black magic stuff. It's coming back to haunt her now. And now that she has her own 17-year-old, a lot of witchy stuff going on here and like spookiness. It's a good, scary book. So I recommend. It's really good. Queen of the Damned by Anne Rice. Oh my God. I'm putting it as average. It's average. It's fine. I liked a lot of parts of it, but the way that it's structured is just unreadable almost, because it goes back in time and like different settings so much. It undercuts all the tension in the book and it just doesn't go anywhere. It was impossible to film for Drunk Classics because it would make no sense as I was filming it. So I had to just do a wrap up on it, which is kind of what I've moved on to doing for like all of the books, honestly. But yeah, it's a mess to get through, but I do like a lot of the aspects of it. Plus, it fully continues on the main trilogy, of like Lestat's story. So I like that part of it. I like Akasha. I like a lot of like the history they put into it. It's just not the best structured format, so it's hard to read, but it's fine. I liked it. It's average. Romance recipe. Technically, I DNF'd it, so I would have to put it in nope. But like, it has its moments. Really, it's not that bad. I'm gonna put it as meh because it was a me problem, not the book problem. I would say so. It's gonna go in the meh section. 2 stars. It had its moments. It's fine. I just wanted it to be lighter than it was because I think this is another angsty one, and I was hoping for like rom-com elements. And it's an FF romance. There's bisexual rep. It's someone coming out as bisexual and kind of like a baby gay. So I love that and like learning about that process and like how they are coming to terms with that and like how they're living their life now, exploring all of that. It's great. And I just wanted happiness out of it, and there was a lot of like drama and sadness and like bad family situations you have to deal with, and it was exhausting to read because it was like so angsty and I wanted more happiness. So it's a me problem, not the book problem. But speaking of like things I didn't like at all, oh my gosh, Small Angels by Lauren Owen is a nope. Oh boy, I viscerally hated it. I read like 45 pages and I hated it. I hated every page of those 45 pages. And it's nothing against the book. I think the book is fine. It's just like, it's a visceral thing for me. I just hated the writing structure and like how they were telling the story. I hated the writing style so bad. So bad. And it's probably fine if you like gothic stories, ghosts, creepy things happening in the woods and stuff, you might get into it. And I wish you do. If you want to read that, I hope you like it. For me, I hated the writing style. I can't really review it because I read 45 pages of it. Let's see. Yeah, sometimes I don't know. I think the writing is good for the right person. For me, it was like nails on a chalkboard, not vibing. Ruby Fever, Alona Andrews. I love Alona Andrews books. That's kind of, it's just gonna go up there to number 5. It just has to. It's a 5-star read. I read it all in one sitting. I couldn't put it down. It's the finale for Catalina's arc of this Hidden Legacy series. So there's 7 books in. Well, 6 books in a novella in, and the first 3 were about one of the Baylor sisters. This is the other Baylor sister, Catalina. This is her finale book. I loved it. Her powers evolve. It's kind of a cool magical worlds, contemporary fantasy. Basically, someone invented a serum that when you take it, it opens up latent magical abilities. And it stays in your genetics, so you can pass it on to children. So X amount of years go by, like 150 years or something go by. Now you have magical dynasties. And they list, it happens in the real world. They just added this element in of magical houses, like house warfare between these houses. And Catalina and her family, they're kind of like private detectives, and they're like solving crimes and stuff. Catalina is incredible heroine. I love her. I think they're going to do more books of it because there's another Baylor sister. And if they don't do the books on it, I will lose my shit. Yikes. Oh my gosh. I will not read it. That's a very dark romance, Den of Vipers. Some people like wanted me to, and I'm like, no, thank you. I don't want to. It's very dark. I'm not a dark romance person myself. Don't need to start with that, especially that one. That was really dark. So starting with something that dark to go with, it's just, yeah, that's not where you should start at all. Stardust Thief, I'm going to put it solid like. This is by Chelsea Abdullah. I very much liked it. There you go. It's a good like. I feel like if you, what is that book called? I have it right here. Oh, City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. If you like that series, which I love, I think it's an incredible series. It's so good. If you like that, Stardust Thief is kind of that light. You know, it's like the diet version of. So it gives you all of those vibes that you'd want. You're dealing with Jinn still. It's like vaguely like Arabian inspired. There's there's a lot going on here, okay? But there's a con woman. It's kind of like Aladdin vibes a little bit, who gets to like steal a lamp, and like there's a whole lot of other stuff going on here. But overall, I solidly liked it. I thought it was very good. The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Henning. It's fine. It's average. I think it's fun for a YA audience who hasn't read like a ton of books. But if I think for its desired audience, I think it would be a fun read. It's action packed. It could have done things better, but then again, I'm a grown-ass adult and I'm probably looking for things that a YA reader wouldn't be looking for. So it's fun. If I'm viewing it objectively, it's fine. It was a good time. It's getting blurbed as if it was like a Princess Bride retelling, but like forget that. It's barely the Princess Bride. It is a disservice. It's a disservice. Don't go in there expecting Princess Bride. You will be disappointed. Oh, okay. Yeah, City Brass is really, really good though. I really enjoyed it. I love it so much. It's so good. I pre-ordered the next book by Chakraborty as well. The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi, I think it was called. I can't remember her name right now. I think it's Amina Al-Sarafi, and she's like a pirate. And I was like, yes. Pre-ordered the shit out of it. I'm so excited for that one. The Ugly Duchess by Eloisa James. I kind of went through like an Eloisa James renaissance recently, because I read this one, Beauty Tamed the Beast, and I actually solidly liked it. And I thought I wasn't going to like Eloisa James stuff because I had tried stuff in the past and didn't enjoy it, but then I tried this one randomly and I actually liked it. If you know that show House MD, with a cranky doctor, it's like that, but make it historical romance and sexy, which is an odd combination of things. But it's a crotchety doctor and like kind of a pretty girl who's smart, and then like they get paired up, and then like romance happens reluctantly, kind of. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. I really liked it. And so it made me want to read The Ugly Duchess, which is also part of that same series. They're kind of all like based around like a fairy tale type of situation. I liked it less than Beauty and the Beast, but I still had an okay time with this. I'm going to put it as average. It's kind of, it might be leaning a bit towards like, but I'm going to put it solidly as average. It's a woman who might not be the most attractive, but she's really smart and funny and has a lot of other cool stuff going on for her. And she gets married to this guy who's kind of like, they've always grown up together. And there's a lot of cute, like awkward boners, which is like, like, oh no, we're going to hug. Oh no, I need to stop hugging you right now at my boner. So there's a lot of silly things like that happen. And basically he kind of gets like coerced into marrying her because for money purposes, and like she finds out and kicks him out, and then he goes off and becomes a pirate. Like I was not expecting pirates in the story. And then, comes back before she can declare him legally dead and be like, hey, I'm not dead. Let's work on our marriage. One of those situations. There's a lot going on here. And like, I wanted more from it than I got, but overall it was kind of fun to read. Violet Made of Thorns. This is, I believe Gina Chen wrote this. It's a debut. It's a YA fantasy. Overall, I think I pretty much liked it. I think it was a solid YA story. It was fun to read. It has a cool kind of magic system, a kind of crotchety heroine who's a bit of a con woman herself. Maybe that's just like my book Catnip, where I like an unlikable heroine who's kind of a con man or con woman. That might be my book Catnip. Like, just tell me that and I'm kind of into it. So it's her, and she has to like save the day. I know there's going to be more books. I don't really foresee myself continuing with the series, but like I thought it was a solid opener. I thought it was pretty good, especially for like YA audience as well. They actually feel like they're kids who are like 18, 19 years old. The way they talk and the way they act, the way they think feels very accurate. So I think that's really good. Upgrade by Blake Crouch. It was my first Blake Crouch, and it's pretty good. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I thought it was definitely pretty good. It's like a one-off sci-fi thriller. Basically, his genome gets hacked, and then he starts becoming less and less human a bit because he's his like brain function is so advanced and his body gets advanced that like he's no longer really all the way human, but he has to like works it out because he has a family and it's like a whole thing. But I liked it overall. It's very cinematic, and Blake Crouch is a screenwriter, so it makes sense why it felt so cinematic when I was reading it. But it's a one and done kind of thriller, and I had a good time with it, so I liked it. Last up on my like chart here, Wicked Beauty by Katie Robert. I don't know. I'm gonna put it as like it's one of those halfies, you know what I mean? It could go to love, but I'm gonna put it as like because I know I like the previous book of the series better than it. However, it's Katie Roberts. It's gonna be smutty. I love that it's smutty. And it's a throuple. It's kind of a reimagining of Greek myths in the series. This is Dark Olympus, this is book 3. So this is Helen of Troy, and she gets into a throuple with Achilles and Patroclus, and love that. An aspect that I really liked, they're all tops. No one's a bottom in this relationship, and that's what I am looking for. There's not enough of that in romance. Like, all of them. They're all tops, and they all go at it with each other all the time. There's a lot of consent talked about. There's also a lot of action because they're all in like this like trial, and to win basically the ranking of Ares. You're going to be the new Ares if you win this like trial, and they're all in it. So there's a lot of like action moments. There's a lot of like action moments in there, but like overall I really did enjoy it. I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, those are all the books I read in quarter 3. A lot more of the likes than the loves. Well, only by one. But like overall, I think like mostly I was reading stuff I either liked or loved, obviously, which is perfect. This is what I want to happen. So, all right, let me go ahead and I will stop sharing my screen. So that was it, everybody. I did it all. Not too many nopes, not too many books I really didn't like. But whew, I had a lot of books I read, 35 of them. So we went through a lot. Let's see. Oh, thank you. I tried to read a bunch of different things, obviously. I'm like, yeah, it's a little all over the place, honestly. Thruples are my jam. Nice. Yeah, you know, it's the cheating element. I think they kind of had like an open relationship to start with. Like obviously Patroclus wasn't as okay with it as would have been nice, but I think it was like allowed. Hello, thanks for coming. Okay. Oh, Chiron and Eurydice? And one more male character? Ooh. Well, I mean, Eurydice was with, damn it, what's his name? Eurydice and... I mean, there's a whole Broadway musical about this. Why am I blanking? Eurydice. Let's see. I'll know it in this. Orpheus. There you go. Like Orpheus. In the books, though, they've written Orpheus like he's a shitty ex-boyfriend. So I'm like, I don't want her to be with Orpheus. I don't want that to happen. But like her getting with like the boatman for the dead, I'm like, okay. Goth queen status. I kind of love that. I did hear about the Chiron Eurydice. I did hear about that one as well. But I don't know. I don't want her to be with Orpheus. Orpheus sucks. Orpheus sucks in the book. I don't want her to be together. I don't want him to be with her. He's a shitty character in the books. He's so shitty. I don't want him. Not everyone needs a redemption storyline. Like, let him be shitty and fuck off. Like, I don't know. I mean, Eurydice and Orpheus is already a tragic love story to start with. And he's in a lot of things. I mean, I don't know if you guys have read the Sandman series. I know there's this TV show now on Netflix. But the comic book series, you know, there's a lot of graphic novels here. And that also the Orpheus Eurydice storyline does play a part in it. I will say that. They're always going around being part of things. And I'm like tired of the myth, honestly. But switching it up and having Eurydice be with Chiron instead. Maybe it'll be like a love triangle and like Orpheus will be trying to get her back and she'd be like, fuck you, Orpheus, I'm going with Chiron. He has a boat. I would love that so much. Anyway, on that note, I got a lot of cool things still coming on deck. Like I mentioned, I'm recapping all of the episodes of Interview with the Vampire. I heard there's only supposed to be 7 episodes this season. So we're over. I just filmed episode 3. I filmed it. I'm editing it currently. So it should be up shortly for my patrons and channel members. You will get early access. Everyone else gets it on Monday when it goes live. And we're going to continue on with that. As soon as that's over, that's when I'm going to start with my like James Bond series, because those are going to be intensive to do. There's a lot of research involved. And it's like a big project and something I haven't done before on this channel, but I'm excited to at least try it out, because this is, you know, recapping TV show episodes is also something new I haven't tried on this channel. And so far, so good. It seems like people have been liking the videos. So we're going to try some new stuff out and see how it goes. But anyway, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me. I had a great time. Thank you for letting me rank all my books. Yeah, so Monday will be the premiere for episode 3 of Interview the Vampire. That recap and Easter eggs you may have missed video will be coming. And then Wednesday, I'm going to move my reading sprints to Wednesdays for a while, just because Mondays I'm going to be premiering a video. I'm not going to have a Wednesday video while I'm doing those. So reading sprints will move to Wednesday nights, and then Saturday, sticking with videos still. So you will get a lot of me. And yeah, next live show is Wednesday for reading sprints. I will see you guys there. And yes, thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming and hanging out. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys. Bye.